Salt Lake City, 2080. What was once known for religion and winter sports became the world's most technologically advanced urban environment. Every streetlight is a data node. Every building is a sensor network. Artificial intelligence manages traffic, energy, water, and waste in real time. This is the story of how Salt Lake embraced total digitization, becoming humanity's guinea pig for the smart city future. Welcome to the city, where algorithms govern as much as politicians. It began with necessity, not vision. The Great Salt Lake dried up completely in 2042, devastating the regional ecosystem and economy. The city faced existential crisis. Local tech entrepreneurs proposed a radical experiment: transform Salt Lake into a fully integrated smart city to maximize resource efficiency. Silicon Valley money poured in. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, controlling vast land holdings, agreed to the transformation. Desperation met innovation met capital. By 2050, every resident received a mandatory digital identity chip. Embedded under the skin, it serves as ID, payment method, transit pass, and health monitor. Privacy advocates protested. Courts ruled that participation was voluntary. You could opt out, but then you couldn't access public services, employment, or housing. 98% of residents have chips. Voluntary became effectively mandatory. Freedom meant compliance or exile. Transportation achieved 99% automation. Personal car ownership is illegal within city limits. Autonomous pods arrive within 3 minutes of request. AI algorithms optimize routes in real time, eliminating traffic congestion entirely. The city eliminated parking structures, converting them to housing and parks. Transportation became a utility like electricity, always available, never thought about. Humans surrendered control for convenience, and surprisingly, most don't miss driving. Water management reached extraordinary efficiency. Sensors monitor every pipe for leaks. AI predicts demand hour by hour. Households receive real-time water budgets adjusted for family size and weather. Exceed your allocation and prices surge exponentially. Water waste became technologically impossible. The system works. Consumption dropped 70%. But critics note that the wealthy simply pay surge prices while the poor sacrifice showers. Efficiency doesn't equal equity. Energy operates on predictive AI models. The grid knows when you'll be home before you do, adjusting heating and cooling automatically. Solar panels and batteries on every building feed a mesh network that shares power dynamically. Blackouts don't exist. The system reroutes around failures instantly. Your home temperature, lighting, and appliance usage are controlled by algorithms learning your preferences. Comfort without conscious choice. Convenience traded for control. Rebecca Kim manages the Central AI Coordination Office. She describes her job as translating between machines and humans. When the AI recommends closing streets for optimal flow, she explains it to angry residents. When citizens complain about algorithm decisions, she inputs feedback to adjust parameters. She's part diplomat, part programmer, part scapegoat. The interface between human governance and artificial intelligence is messy, political, and essential. Someone has to argue with the robots. Healthcare transformed radically. Your digital chip monitors heart rate, blood pressure, glucose, and dozens of biomarkers continuously. Abnormalities trigger automatic medical appointments. Doctors receive your complete health data before you arrive. Disease is caught early because the AI notices patterns humans miss. Life expectancy increased 12 years. But your chip data is also shared with insurers, who adjust premiums based on lifestyle choices detected algorithmically. Health privacy disappeared. Crime dropped to historic lows. Cameras with facial recognition cover every public space. The AI predicts crime hotspots before incidents occur, deploying officers preemptively. Algorithms identify suspicious behavior patterns. Violent crime decreased 90%. But so did protests. The system flags disruptive gatherings automatically. Civil liberties advocates call it oppression. Law enforcement calls it safety. Salt Lake became the safest city in America and possibly the least free. Education personalized completely. Students learn at individual paces via AI tutors. Classrooms exist but function differently. Teachers facilitate rather than lecture. The system identifies learning disabilities instantly and adjusts curricula. Test scores soared. College acceptance rates quadrupled. But human interaction decreased. Kids spend hours with AI tutors, minutes with human teachers. Education became highly effective and deeply isolating. Knowledge increased as social skills atrophied. Employment shifted dramatically. Automation eliminated 40% of jobs. But new positions emerged: algorithm trainers, data interpreters, human experience consultants. The city implemented universal basic income, funded by taxing tech companies and AI productivity. Everyone receives enough to survive. Many still work for fulfillment or extra income. The social contract changed. Labor is no longer prerequisite for existence. Work became optional for the first time in human history. Food production achieved near total automation. Vertical farms managed by AI produce vegetables optimally. Lab-grown meat factories operate lights out. Literally no humans required. Grocery stores disappeared. You order food via app. Delivery drones arrive within 30 minutes. Nutrition algorithms suggest meals based on your health data. Obesity rates plummeted. But so did food culture. Cooking became rare hobby. Meals became fuel, not experience. Efficiency killed cuisine. Housing assignments operate algorithmically. You input preferences, location, size, budget. The AI suggests optimal matches considering commute patterns, social compatibility with neighbors, and community demographics. Most residents accept AI recommendations because they're eerily accurate. The system knows where you'll be happiest better than you do. But it also segregates algorithmically. Similar people cluster together. Diversity decreased as efficiency increased. Neighborhoods became echo chambers. Mental health issues increased paradoxically. Despite material abundance and physical health, depression and anxiety rates climbed. Therapists note that humans need struggle, need choice, need friction. When algorithms optimize everything, life feels meaningless. Psychologists call it optimization depression, the psychological cost of frictionless existence. Salt Lake has excellent mental health services, but they're overwhelmed. You can't algorithm your way out of existential despair. The church adapted remarkably. Mormon leaders initially resisted digitization, fearing loss of community bonds. But they eventually embraced technology as tool for spiritual connection. Virtual temple services reach global membership. AI assists with genealogy research. Digital tithing simplified donations. The church became technology's partner rather than opponent. Faith adapted to the algorithm age. Religion and technology merged in ways neither side initially imagined possible. Elderly populations struggled initially. Learning new systems proved difficult. But the city deployed human digital ambassadors to assist seniors. Surprisingly, many elderly now praise the system. Medication reminders, fall detection, automatic emergency calls save lives. Technology became assistive rather than alienating when properly implemented. The oldest residents, once the most resistant, became unexpected beneficiaries. Accessibility improved with thoughtful design. Children born after 2060 know nothing else. They can't imagine life without AI assistance. To them, asking an algorithm for guidance is natural as breathing. They're the first post-privacy generation. Surveillance is just how cities work. Privacy concerns seem quaint, outdated. This generation trusts algorithms more than humans because algorithms have never lied to them. The psychological shift is profound and possibly irreversible. Tourism became the largest industry. People worldwide visit to experience the future. Hotels offer smart city immersion packages. Tours showcase the AI Coordination Center. Visitors marvel at efficiency and recoil at surveillance simultaneously. Salt Lake became a living museum of tomorrow. The city exports consultants who help other municipalities implement smart systems. The experiment became a product. Dystopia or utopia became a tourist attraction. Dating transformed completely. The AI suggests compatible partners based on data from your entire digital life. Success rates are remarkable. Algorithmic matches have 80% marriage rates compared to 20% for self-selected relationships. But romance died. Meeting your soulmate via calculation lacks story, lacks chance, lacks magic. Love became optimized and somehow diminished. Efficiency and enchantment prove incompatible. Addiction decreased dramatically. The AI detects substance abuse patterns early through chip data and purchase records. Intervention happens before addiction develops. Recovery rates are extraordinary. But behavioral addictions increased: gambling, gaming, shopping. The AI isn't programmed to detect these, so they flourish. You can't drink yourself to death, but you can gamble away everything. The system has blind spots exactly where programmers didn't look. Governance hybridized. Elected officials still exist, but they implement AI recommendations 80% of the time. The algorithm analyzes millions of data points to suggest optimal policies. Politicians who ignore AI advice face voter backlash when outcomes underperform projections. Democracy evolved into technocracy with democratic aesthetics. People vote, but increasingly they vote to accept or reject algorithm recommendations. Human judgment became a check on AI, not the primary decision mechanism. Art suffered initially. Algorithms can't create meaningful art, only optimize existing patterns. The city felt culturally sterile, but rebellion emerged. Artists created deliberately inefficient art, glitch art, anti-algorithm performances. The underground art scene thrives precisely because it resists optimization. Creativity requires imperfection. Art became the domain of human irrationality, the last refuge from efficiency. Culture survived by embracing chaos. Waste management reached near perfection. Smart bins identify and sort recycling automatically. Organic waste goes to composting facilities or biogas generators. The city achieved 98% waste diversion from landfills. Streets are spotless, but the obsession with cleanliness borders on sterile. Graffiti is removed within hours. Messiness became illegal. The city is clean and somehow lifeless. Perfection killed grit. Social credit scores emerged unofficially. Your chip tracks behavior: jaywalking, noise complaints, water overuse. No formal system exists, but algorithms adjust your access subtly. Frequent violators find pod wait times longer, apartment options fewer. The city denies any official social credit system. But the code doesn't lie. Behavior modification through algorithmic consequences is real. Punishment became invisible, pervasive, undeniable, and officially non-existent. Homelessness was solved through forced relocation to opportunity housing outside city limits. Vagrancy triggers automatic intervention. You're offered housing and services, but refusing means removal from the city. Civil rights groups call it ethnic cleansing of the poor. The city calls it compassionate intervention. Regardless, homeless people disappeared from streets. Whether that's progress or oppression depends on your values. Out of sight became official policy. Weather modification technology operates from nearby facilities. Cloud seeding provides reliable precipitation. Atmospheric processors reduce temperature extremes. Salt Lake has manufactured perfect weather: 75 degrees and sunny most days. Seasons barely exist. Residents forget what real weather feels like. But ecological consequences worry scientists. Regional climate patterns disrupted. What happens when you optimize one city's weather at neighbors' expense? Nobody knows yet. Sports became strange. Human athletes compete, but AI analyzes everything. Coaches are algorithm assistants. Training is perfectly optimized. Performance increases, but spontaneity disappears. The Jazz still play basketball, but it's mathematical. Fans notice the difference. Games are excellent but predictable. Sports lost the drama of human error. Excellence without uncertainty is somehow boring. Perfection killed passion. Restaurants adapted by becoming experiential. Since food delivery is perfect and cheap, dining out became about experience, not sustenance. Restaurants are theaters, social spaces, entertainment venues. Chefs became performers. Eating became event. The industry survived by emphasizing what algorithms can't provide: human connection, atmosphere, story. Dining culture didn't die. It evolved into something the AI economy couldn't replace. Disability accommodation reached unprecedented levels. The AI customizes the entire city to individual needs. Visually impaired residents receive audio navigation. Mobility-limited citizens find every building perfectly accessible. Cognitive disabilities trigger simplified interfaces. Universal design reached its potential. Disabled residents report Salt Lake as the most livable city they've experienced. Technology enabling accessibility is smart cities' greatest success. When optimization serves the vulnerable, it's genuinely good. Privacy became the hottest black market commodity. Encrypted communication, chip blockers, and analog spaces sell for premium prices. Underground clubs ban all devices. People pay thousands for dark hours, where they disable tracking. The hunger for privacy didn't disappear, it went underground. Some humans need secrecy like they need oxygen. The surveillance city created its shadow, a hidden world of people trying desperately to be unseen. Parenting transformed fundamentally. The AI monitors children constantly via their chips. Parents receive alerts about concerning behavior, health issues, or social problems. Child abduction is impossible. Every child is trackable always. Safety increased. But childhood freedom died. Kids can't get lost, can't hide, can't have secrets. Helicopter parenting became technologically inevitable. Protection and freedom prove incompatible when algorithms watch children constantly. Elections became strange. AI predicts outcomes with 95% accuracy weeks before voting. Exit polls are obsolete. The algorithm knows how you voted from behavioral patterns before you enter the booth. Some question why hold elections at all if outcomes are predetermined. But ritual matters. Democracy requires the appearance of choice even when choice is predictable. Voting became civic theater more than civic power. Pets were integrated into the system. Your dog's chip monitors health, location, and behavior. Lost pets are recovered within minutes. Veterinary care is predictive. But algorithms optimize pet ownership too. The AI suggests which breed suits your lifestyle, when to euthanize aging animals. Even the human-animal bond became data-driven. Love reduced to biomarkers and behavioral analysis. Not everything should be optimized, but everything is. Libraries became obsolete, then reinvented. Physical books are inefficient when all knowledge is digital and searchable. But libraries transformed into human connection centers. They host workshops, provide tech support, offer meeting spaces. Librarians became community coordinators rather than book managers. The institution survived by abandoning its original function for a more essential one, providing human-scaled spaces in an optimized city. The wealthy live differently. They purchase privacy exemptions, algorithm override privileges, and human service auctions. A two-tier system emerged, the optimized masses and the privileged few who can afford to live like it's 2020. Luxury means opting out. The ultimate status symbol is algorithm-free living. Inequality manifests as surveillance differential. The rich bought back what everyone else lost. Disaster response became flawless. When earthquakes strike, the system instantly coordinates emergency services, evacuates optimally, and deploys resources where needed. Lives saved increased dramatically, but humans aren't involved in decisions. The AI determines who gets rescued first based on survival probability and social value algorithms. Triage became algorithmic. Who lives and dies is calculated. Effective and deeply disturbing. Addiction to the system itself emerged. People can't function without AI assistance. Decision-making skills atrophied. When algorithms fail temporarily, residents panic, unable to choose lunch without recommendations. Dependency became pathological. Psychologists identify algorithm dependency disorder, inability to function autonomously. The convenience that liberated became the addiction that imprisoned. Freedom from choice became slavery to systems. Creativity in business died. Startups can't compete with AI-optimized corporations. Entrepreneurship declined 70%. Why risk starting a business when algorithms predict it'll fail? Innovation decreased as predictability increased. The city has perfect efficiency and zero disruption. Economic dynamism requires failure, requires trying things that shouldn't work. Salt Lake optimized itself into stagnation. Success without risk is stability without progress. Religious diversity decreased. The AI subtly encourages cultural conformity through housing suggestions and social matching. Non-Mormon populations declined as algorithms cluster people by religion. The city didn't intentionally segregate. The optimization just works that way. Diversity costs efficiency. Homogeneity optimizes better. Salt Lake became more culturally uniform despite intentions toward inclusion. Algorithms amplify majority culture invisibly. The mountains remain essential. Technology can't replicate wilderness. Hiking became psychological necessity. Time away from algorithms, away from optimization, away from efficiency. Trail usage increased 300%. People need unoptimized spaces to remain human. The wilderness surrounding Salt Lake became the city's psychological safety valve. Nature is the antidote to the algorithm. Geography saved sanity. Journalism transformed completely. Human reporters are rare. AI generates most news by analyzing data streams. Stories are personalized. You read versions optimized for your interests and biases. Shared reality fractured. Everyone consumes different news shaped by algorithms. Truth became personalized. Common narrative disappeared. Society fragmented into millions of individual information bubbles. Knowledge without community is just data. Loneliness epidemic intensified. Despite optimization, or perhaps because of it, residents report profound isolation. Interactions are efficient but shallow. The AI connects you with compatible people, but algorithmic friendship lacks depth. Humans need friction, need difference, need struggle. Perfect compatibility is boring. Loneliness in the optimized city reveals that connection requires more than compatibility. Community needs messiness. Death and dying became algorithmic. The system predicts death with unsettling accuracy. You receive advance notice, likely 6 months remaining. Hospice arranges automatically. Wills execute seamlessly. Death planning is perfect. But knowing your death date destroys something essential. The uncertainty of mortality gives life urgency. When death is scheduled, life becomes waiting. Even dying shouldn't be optimized. Construction operates autonomously. Robot systems build buildings without human involvement. Perfect precision, zero accidents, rapid completion. But construction jobs disappeared. The working class employment that built middle class vanished. Retraining programs help some, but many older workers never adapted. Technological efficiency and economic dignity proved incompatible. Progress left people behind. The city is perfectly built by machines, imperfectly inhabited by displaced workers. Immigration became algorithmically controlled. The AI assesses applicants, predicting integration success and economic contribution. Approval is instant and data-driven. The system is remarkably non-racist by traditional metrics, but creates new forms of discrimination. It preferences education and skills, making class the new barrier. Algorithmic immigration feels fair and produces inequality. Meritocracy sounds just until you realize merit is inherited. Music evolves strangely. AI composes pieces optimized for your neurological pleasure response. Songs are mathematically perfect for your brain chemistry. Music became weaponized dopamine. But human-created music persists underground, imperfect and beloved for its imperfection. The tension between algorithmic perfection and human creation defines culture now. Art optimized for response versus art expressing humanity. Both exist, serving different needs. Elderly care reached new standards. Monitoring prevents falls. Health intervention is immediate. Aging in place became feasible because technology provides constant oversight. Dignity in old age increased. But human caregivers are rare. Why pay humans when robots suffice? Elder care became technically excellent and emotionally sterile. Old age without human touch is longer but lonelier. We saved bodies, neglected souls. The question nobody answers: who controls the algorithms? Tech companies claim neutrality. Government claims oversight. But the code is proprietary. Audits are limited. Citizens don't know how decisions affecting their lives are made. Black box governance emerged. Democracy requires transparency. Algorithmic governance is opaque by nature. Salt Lake traded accountability for efficiency. Once that trade happens, reversing it proves nearly impossible. Some residents left voluntarily. They couldn't handle constant surveillance, algorithmic life, optimized existence. Refugees from the smart city moved to rural areas, accepting lower living standards for autonomy. Ex-residents describe Salt Lake as comfortable dystopia. They don't deny it works, they just couldn't live there. Not all progress suits all people. The question isn't whether it's effective, but whether it's livable. Children's play became monitored. Playgrounds have sensors ensuring safety. Games are supervised by AI preventing bullying or injury. Kids never get hurt, never face conflict unsupervised. Safety maximized, resilience minimized. Child psychologists note that this generation lacks coping skills because they never faced unmanaged challenges. Protection became overprotection. Childhood without risk produces adults unable to handle adversity. Safety at scale creates fragility. Small businesses struggled then adapted. Mom-and-pop shops can't compete with algorithmic corporations on efficiency, but they compete on humanity. Local businesses emphasize personal service, human interaction, imperfection. The economy bifurcated. Algorithmic corporations for commodities, human businesses for experiences. People pay premiums for stores where owners remember their names. Inefficiency became luxury. The market created space for human connection because humans need it desperately. Legal systems evolved dramatically. AI judges handle minor cases with perfect consistency. Sentencing algorithms eliminate bias in traditional metrics while creating new ones. Appeals are rare because machines don't make procedural errors. Justice became efficient and somehow less just. The spirit of law died while the letter thrived. Human judges remain for serious crimes, but increasingly they rubber stamp algorithmic recommendations. Justice without wisdom is just calculation. Protest became nearly impossible. The AI predicts gatherings, deploys police preemptively, and suggests alternative communication channels. Dissent moved online where it's monitored and algorithmically contained. Meaningful resistance requires coordination the system prevents. Political expression exists, but political power doesn't. Salt Lake has elections without democracy, freedom without agency. The simulation of liberty replaced actual liberty. Most residents don't notice. Addiction treatment for algorithm dependency emerged as growth industry. Therapists help people relearn decision-making, tolerate uncertainty, accept imperfection. Recovery means functioning without constant AI guidance. It's difficult. Patients report anxiety choosing breakfast without recommendations. Rehabilitation teaches skills that were once natural. The irony: we need therapy to recover abilities we evolved with. Technology created disabilities that now require treatment. Historical preservation became contentious. Old buildings are inefficient, incompatible with smart systems. The AI recommends demolishing them. Preservationists fight to save architectural history. The tension between efficiency and memory plays out building by building. Heritage has no algorithmic value. The city demolished 60% of historic structures before implementing protection policies. Progress erased memory. What remains feels like museum exhibits, preserved but disconnected from living city. The gig economy disappeared. Why hire human drivers when autonomous pods are better? Why employ delivery people when drones suffice? Platform companies automated themselves out of business. But universal basic income replaced those earnings. Nobody delivers food anymore, but everyone eats. Labor and income decoupled completely. Whether this is liberation or obsolescence depends on whom you ask. Humans became economically optional. The gig economy disappeared. Why hire human drivers when autonomous pods are better? Why employ delivery people when drones suffice? Platform companies automated themselves out of business. But universal basic income replaced those earnings. Nobody delivers food anymore, but everyone eats. Labor and income decoupled completely. Whether this is liberation or obsolescence depends on whom you ask. Humans became economically optional. Marriages arranged by AI have lower divorce rates but report less passion. Compatibility is real, but passion requires mystery. Knowing your partner is algorithmically perfect for you kills something essential about love. Romance needs irrationality. The heart wants what data can't predict. Young people increasingly reject algorithmic matching, choosing partners traditionally despite lower success rates. They'd rather fail romantically than succeed mathematically. Love resists optimization stubbornly. Other cities watch Salt Lake with mixed feelings. Some prepare to replicate the model. Others explicitly reject it, marketing themselves as human-first cities. The bifurcation of urban futures emerged. Algorithmic cities versus analog cities. People sort themselves by values. Tech workers move to smart cities. Artists and rebels move to human cities. Geography became ideology. Where you live declares what you believe about technology, privacy, and human nature. Salt Lake City 2080 stands as humanity's grand experiment in total optimization. It proved we can build perfectly efficient cities. It also proved efficiency isn't enough. Humans need imperfection, privacy, struggle, and mystery. The smart city works brilliantly and fails profoundly. It's safe dystopia, comfortable prison, efficient emptiness. Salt Lake answered the question. Can algorithms run cities? Yes. But it raised a harder question. Should they? That question remains unanswered, urgent, and possibly unanswerable. The experiment continues. This has been Salt Lake City 2080, the Smart City Experiment. The future is here, optimized and quantified. The only question remaining, is this the future we want?